Imagine a neighborhood where most reputable businesses have picked up and moved out, where minimum wage jobs prevail. Imagine a community where parasitic check cashers and payday loan companies are found on nearly every corner, sucking the lifeblood out of the people and the local economy. For many years, that was South Chicago, Illinois. But one fateful year, a South Chicago neighborhood decided to take charge of its future. Working together, residents, local organizations, and churches came together to create their own financial institution, the Southside Community Federal Credit Union.
We are situated in the center of one of probably the poorest neighborhoods in Chicago, the South Side. We have over 850,000 people in our service area, and 80% of them live below the national median poverty income. So we were able to get this community charter with a low income designation so that we could have programs that would help people and turn them away from having to deal with currency exchanges, payday lenders, and check cashers. So we are serving as a viable alternative for people.
As with many fledgling credit unions, Southside needed plenty of support to get off the ground. In addition to hundreds of volunteer hours from area residents and financial support from government agencies, Southside looked to the National Credit Union Foundation. The foundation approved a grant to help fund operations for this startup credit union.
We have to go out and garner support, and had it not been for the National Credit Union Foundation, we would not have been able to open our doors and have the type of success that we've had thus far. I can't begin to tell you how many people view the credit union as a beacon of hope for them. It's really very gratifying, to say the least, to know that they entrust us, with their finance. They have the utmost confidence in us that this is an institution that's going to make a difference not only in their lives, but in the lives of generations to come.
The credit union was something few people in the neighborhood had ever experienced. A financial institution that seemed to care. It was a beacon of financial hope for area residents, an opportunity to rally the neighborhood for the betterment of all.
Before I came to the credit union, I was formerly a banker for over 20 years. So having an opportunity to work here at the credit union has really helped me to make a difference in people's lives on a more realistic level. The mission of the credit union is to financially empower people by giving them greater access to savings, credit, and financial education. So we have a lot of programs here that help people in ways that banks have been unable to.
I really think the Southside Community Federal Credit Union is the only one who's really reached out to the community, because I'm familiar with the people that work here. I'm familiar with the members on the board. These are individuals actually that I do know from the community and that we've been involved with in other organizations that we're a part of. So I really feel like I can trust the information and the guidance that I get.
Right from the start, the people of Southside warmly welcomed the credit union to their neighborhood.
Well, on the first day we opened, which was November 8th of 2003, we opened up 175 accounts for $235,000, which is tremendous. I mean, we came out of the gates with a membership base larger than some credit unions that have been in existence for quite a long time.
While providing essential financial services is a primary goal for Southside, another prevailing interest is to teach members how to better manage their finances and, in turn, better their future.
We're in an area, of course, where people don't have the best credit records. So consequently, it takes a little more money, a little more support for us to get it to the point where our financial institution is self-sufficient. So we have to continually work to make our borrowers more credit-worthy through our financial education classes. Every Saturday we have a financial education class from 10:30 to 12:30. We've graduated our first class session. It was an 8-week course. So we had about 15 graduates. They all got certificates. And we're looking at doing a lot more.
The classes kind of educated me on a lot of the habits that I had because I didn't work with a budget. I spent a lot of money without realizing I was spending a lot of money. And when I kind of started writing down everything that I was doing, I noticed how much money I was actually wasting instead of making wiser purchases on things that I could actually look around and say, that's where the money went. It was something, you know, that I really needed.
A couple of programs that we have here at the Southside Community Credit Union that makes us unique. We have a youth credit union program where we're teaching young adults the basics of saving money at a very early age, equipping them with the skills that they need to be successful as an adult.
They are real excited about the financial education that we've been doing here at the credit union. Now we've been bringing it out into the neighborhood, you know, and I think people are excited about it. The youth is our future, and we're trying to make sure that the youth don't have this problem. They are real excited about the youth credit union.
Thanks to the credit union, members are now actively saving and borrowing and beginning to better manage their money. And that's just the beginning.
Because the purpose of the credit union is to also help people to accumulate assets, not just to be consumers, but to own something. And for many of the members that join the credit union, their membership into the credit union is their first ownership opportunity they've ever had, aside from perhaps owning a bike or something less tangible, but really getting them on the road to being able to achieve the American dream of owning a home, starting a business.
When they started their first round of financial education classes, I signed up, and the different classes they had actually prepared me because the different topics that we went through, like budgeting, financing, how to establish good credit, are all the things that you need to be prepared in order to buy a home.
Thanks to the credit union's newly established home ownership counseling program, the dream of home ownership is now within the grasp of many area residents.
In addition to getting operating support from the National Credit Union Foundation to open our doors, we were also instrumental in receiving a grant to fund a home ownership counseling program. We've counseled about 70 people, 5 of which are on the way to closing their first home loan. We do one-on-one counseling as well as group financial education. We have the classes here once a month teaching basically everything you would need to know about buying a home from A to Z.
I'm working with one of the counselors there to help me in the process of finding a mortgage loan that's appropriate for the income that we're bringing in.
For members like Gail and her, the opportunity to purchase their first home through the credit union is a dream come true.
You know, you want to have a home, and after you've, lived in someone else's apartment for years and years, you've actually paid their mortgage up and they own that building. I don't ever want to be put in the situation again where someone can tell me I'm kicked to the streets.
Basic, fair financial services. Financial education programs. The dream of home ownership. In just 1 year, one little credit union has helped transform many lives, and in fact, an entire community.
Prior to us being here, I would say on the humanistic side, you had this perpetual cycle of poverty with very little hope. Now that the credit union here, there's a sense of optimism. There's a feeling that people have an opportunity to become self-empowered. So everyone that joins the credit union movement, people have an opportunity to help each other uplift themselves in the area of economics. This community has a lot of hope. It has a bright future ahead of it as a result of the credit union.